In this video, we're going to cover how to plan attention-grabbing image ads. So, although ChatGPT can't actually create image ads for us, it can give us some great ideas for images that you can then create yourself or get someone to create for you. So let's go through the 6 prompts, and for this video, we're going to use suitcases as the example. We've done a product example, a service example, so now we're going back to a product example. So the first prompt is, give me 5 ideas for image ads I could create to sell suitcases. And like I mentioned earlier in the course, you can add extra details to these prompts if you want to. For example, you can ask for image ad ideas that are aimed at a specific audience, like young solo travelers, business travelers, and so on. You can also ask for image ads that fit into any of the offer and audience angles we previously covered. Another thing you can do is to specify any particular elements that must be included in the images. So for example, a human, a duck, or anything else. But we're keeping things simple. So here's ChatGPT's response. It describes what each image should show, and it also gives you a tagline which can be the text overlay on top of the image. So for example, the first idea is a traveler standing on top of a mountain peak, gazing out at a breathtaking view. The suitcase is placed next to them, symbolizing the companion that will carry their essentials on their exciting journey. And then the tagline is, unleash your wanderlust with our reliable travel companion. Alright, so ChatGPT can give you ideas like this for your image ads, and then you just have to create them. So for this idea, you could create ads that look like this. Now, that being said, it's important to note that you shouldn't just use what ChatGPT suggests every single time if you think you can make it better. There's some AI gurus saying things like, use ChatGPT to build an entire campaign in 2 minutes. But I think they're being very unethical because they're basically telling people they can be lazy and just copy and paste everything ChatGPT suggests. I definitely wouldn't recommend that. Hopefully I've made it clear in this course already that ChatGPT is great for brainstorming ideas, giving you insights and providing information. It can make you a smarter advertiser who's able to be more creative and productive. But that doesn't mean you have to 100% follow everything it says. Sometimes you can, but not always. Alright, so these are 5 different image ads you could create. The first one we just covered focuses on adventure. Number 2 recommends using travel creators to create content for you. Number 3 focuses on the style and design of the suitcase. Number 4 focuses on the strength and durability of the suitcase. And number 5 focuses on family travel with kids. So you've got a nice variety of angles here, and once again, you can also use the angles we covered in the previous 2 videos of this course. So for example, in the offer video, we covered emotional versus logic-driven angles. So for this image prompt, we could say, give me 5 ideas for emotional image ads that I could create to sell suitcases. Or in the audience video, we covered people's desires. So for that, we'd change the prompt to say, give me 5 ideas for image ads that I could create to sell suitcases. These ideas must appeal to people's desire to travel to places they've never been before, or whatever desires are relevant to your specific audience. Alright, so in this course, we're going through prompts in these 5 categories, but you can mix and match the variables from any of them to create the exact prompts you want. The purpose of this course is to give you those variables, teach you how to use ChatGPT, and then you're free to use them however you like. So that's the first prompt. Now, the second prompt is, give me 5 funny ideas for image ads I could create to sell suitcases. So humor is really effective because people love ads that make them laugh. They feel good, they want to share it with others, the ads are more memorable, and they can get people in the mood to purchase. So ChatGPT has given us these ideas for funny image ads. So for example, the first one says to show a suitcase filled with ridiculous things like a rubber chicken, a flamingo pool float, a disco ball, and this is to highlight the versatility and spaciousness of the suitcase, and to say that our suitcases can carry a lot more than clothes. Personally, I don't think ChatGPT is great at humor. Like, the jokes it makes are pretty cringe, but it's still a good way to get some ideas that you can then improve on. Another thing you can do is to ask for funny memes instead of image ads, because those tend to give you funnier results because ChatGPT is modeling its answers on meme designs that are already funny and popular. So for example, the first meme idea is packing for a vacation versus packing to return home. Create a meme showcasing the stark contrast between neatly organized suitcases before a trip and the chaotic mess of items thrown in haphazardly when it's time to go back. That's actually not bad because I don't know about you, but that's exactly how I pack. So if I saw that ad, it would make me laugh, I would remember it, I'd maybe share it with a few people, I'd feel like the brand understood me, and therefore I'd be more interested in checking out its products. Alright, so we've now covered general ideas and funny ideas. Then the third prompt is, give me 5 unusual ideas for image ads I could create to sell suitcases. So people are scrolling through their feed really quickly. So if an ad just looks normal and like everything else on their feed, people will be less likely to pay attention to it, right? That's why it's good to get some unusual ideas too, because that can lead to some very attention-grabbing ads that produce better results than other ads. So for example, I really like ChatGPT's fifth idea here. Capture an image of a suitcase ingeniously transformed into a multifunctional piece of furniture, such as a portable minibar, a charging station for your devices, or a cozy place to read a book. By highlighting its adaptability and innovation, this ad idea presents your suitcase as more than just storage, but as an essential tool that enhances the travel experience in unexpected ways. I think that's a great idea for a campaign. Think about how much more interesting and attention-grabbing those ads would be versus just a boring photo of a suitcase, right? So those are the unusual ideas. Then the next prompt is, give me 5 infographic ideas for image ads I could create to sell suitcases. So infographics are a great way of sharing key pieces of information in a very quick and consumable way, which is perfect for an image ad. I mean, sure, you could write that information in your captions, but some people don't like reading the captions of an ad, so it's good to include 1 or more infographic ads in your campaign to see how they perform against your other ads. Because again, every campaign is different, so it will perform better in some people's campaigns, but not others. So you have to test as much variety as possible. So here's ChatGPT's response, and from these I particularly like the 4th idea. So create an infographic focusing on the lightweight nature of the suitcase. Display a visual representation of the suitcase's weight compared to a standard suitcase, emphasizing the reduction in weight. Showcase the benefits of traveling with lightweight luggage, such as avoiding overweight fees, easier maneuverability, and less strain on travelers. So this image ad could be as simple as having a side-by-side comparison of our suitcases versus other suitcases, and then highlighting the weight difference and the benefits that provides. Now, if you think back to the first video, which was focused on your offer angles, one of them was differentiation, right? So that's exactly what this ad idea is using. It's differentiating our suitcases from our competition. So let's say that you run a campaign and this infographic performs really well and you want to create more of them. Well, in that case, you can ask ChatGPT to give you infographic ideas that are specifically focused on differentiation. Alright, so if you learn all of the different angles covered in this course, when you find winning ads, you'll be able to identify them with a specific angle, and then you can ask ChatGPT to create more ideas for them. Alright, so we've now covered general ideas, funny ideas, unusual ideas, and infographic ideas. Now, the next prompt is, give me 5 visual metaphor ideas for image ads I could create to sell suitcases. So a metaphor is something that's symbolic of something else. So for example, if a person is not kind, loving, or compassionate, they're often referred to as having a heart of stone, because stones are tough, cold, and emotionless, right? So we're not saying that person's heart is literally made of stone, we're saying that the stone is a metaphor because it symbolizes that person's behavior. Alright, so metaphorical ads are great because they can grab people's attention very easily, and people also think this type of ad is very smart, thoughtful, and creative. But they're not done very often because it's hard to think of ideas. Now, that's where ChatGPT comes in. So here are the metaphorical ideas for suitcases. Now, from this list, my favorite idea is the first one, unlock adventure. Show a closed suitcase with a prominent oversized keyhole. Inside the keyhole, depict a breathtaking, picturesque scene, such as a mountain range or a tropical beach. This metaphorical image suggests that by unlocking the suitcase, you unlock a world of exciting travel experiences. That's a beautiful idea, right? It's actually very weird that ChatGPT can come up with an idea like this. But anyway, artificial intelligence is here, so we might as well make the most of it, right? So that's metaphorical image ads. And that brings us on to the final prompt, which is, give me 5 ideas for urgency and scarcity image ads I could create to sell suitcases. Don't include any ideas that would require me to create anything new. So these ads promote a special offer that's only available for a limited time or for a limited quantity. That's what urgency and scarcity mean. People are more likely to take your desired action if you pressure them based on a time limit or a quantity limit. So that's why these ads are so effective. Now, the reason I added the last sentence to this prompt is because otherwise, ChatGPT often suggests that you create a limited edition product or service. Obviously, you're free to do that, but I wanted to limit the prompt to thinking about the products or services you already offer rather than you having to create something new. Alright, so here's the response. We could say that there's a limited stock of suitcases remaining, or that it's people's last chance to do something. We could also say that there's only 50 suitcases left that include a special offer, or we could say that if people purchase within a specific time frame, we'll include a free accessory. And then finally, we could say that we're running a flash sale. And for each of these ideas, ChatGPT describes the image we can create and the tagline we could add on top of it. Alright, so in this video, we've covered asking ChatGPT for general image ads, funny image ads, unusual image ads, infographic ads, visual metaphor ads, and then finally, urgency and scarcity ads. All of these are proven to be highly effective for selling anything. And then like I mentioned earlier, you can also ask ChatGPT to come up with image ads that deliver any of the offer angles and audience angles we've already covered in the previous videos. Now, in the next video, we're going to do the same for video ads. So let's move on to that now.